Sup, it's your boy Big Reg coming to you once again from the shadow of the big house. Holy smokes. What a show we got for you tonight. We're going to discuss all the pain, the heartbreak, the sorrow mixed in with all the I don't know what the word is, hope for a new future ahead. Joining us tonight first, this man needs a haircut because man, oh man, he's looking like the prince from Shrek. The one, the only producer, Jay Bizzle.
It's about progress or process. Wait, was it process?
This guy wasn't paying attention at all.
Just happy to be here. Finally, we move onwards. Ready to talk.
There you go. It seems so long ago when after we won the national championship and a lot's gone on. Let's start over. Holy smokes. Sorry. This is the last time.
Wow. What this?
No,
This whole season.
Process.
You must be
Pursuit. Process pursuit standard. Come on.
Process.
Right, here we go. All right. Sup, it's your boy Big Reg coming to you once again from the shadow of the big house. And man, oh man, there's been a lot of change, upheavals, if you will, in Wolverine Nation. Joining me tonight to process all this. As Michigan fans, there's so much that we have gone through in this past month. The highest of highs, and then the uncertainties along the way, and now finally finding hopefully some solid ground once again. We're going to discuss all of that. First man up joining us is the one, the only, producer Jay Bizzle. More! What was that? What? I don't know what that was. Holy smokes. Well, we got you. Any desert heat checks? Huh?
No, none.
Come on, man. You got that snazzy haircut going on. You tell me the chicks don't like to rub their fingers through your head? Come on, man.
I try to wear this everywhere I go and I get no recognition.
Oh gosh. This guy, he's trying to become the male version of what's the what was that? The girl from Alabama, remember her?
No.
At the championship game. Oh man. Oh, who knows? You might get married.
Maybe that's why there is no desert heat check, because he wears that thing around every day. Where
holy smokes. Oh man, the jabs are flying fast and furious tonight. Next, joining us, this man is having trouble with his housekeeping crew. They just won't listen to him. They keep taking down the Michigan flag, but he keeps putting it right back up. It's the one, the only, JC from Sunnyside.
I love them. They're great peoples. They do great work. But all I gotta say is still, despite all the uncertainty, ups and downs, I'm still pull it down. I'm still pulling it down. Pull it down. Pull it down. I still can't explain to you what that means.
No,
but I just feel it. You feel it. Pull it down.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't ever remember anyone saying that during the season. Who said that?
Harbaugh. Harbaugh said that at a press conference after the national championship game, and during the interview at the podium. He said,
"Pull it down.
Pull it down." Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right. If you say so.
I want you to pull it down.
I don't know. I still don't get it. I don't get it. But wait. You know, whatever's. Next, this man. Oh my goodness. We had a row. Well, look at him. He looks so excited to be here. His head is on a pillow. He's half asleep, but he's still here nonetheless. The one, the only, nameless guest.
Greetings, and I'm not really sure what this is all about, but if it's an opportunity to express utter just love and gratitude, the man, the greatest Wolverine there ever was and ever will be, I will pay my tributes. We love you, Harbs.
Oh my gosh, so morose.
What is this? Is this a MAGA rally? What is this? We love you no matter what. Undevoted love and loyalty. Come on, man.
All right.
No,
well,
I forgot eternally.
This next man needs no introduction. He's been waiting for this day for the past 9 years. The one, the only. Mr. Squarehead.
I can't wait to get into this, man. This, I'll tell you, this is not a happy day for me. This is not a happy day because you know I am the president of the Fire Harbaugh fan club. Not the let Harbaugh go, not the let Harbaugh walk out on us, not the let Harbaugh create this drama every freaking year at the end of the year. Oh, should I go to the NFL? Oh, maybe not. Should I go? Oh, maybe not. Come on, man. I'm the Fire Harbaugh president, and this is a devastating day for me. This dude walked out on his own terms.
I guess we jumped right into it. Jim
Let's
Harbaugh, of
make-
course,
let's make it
leaves
fast.
for the NFL, going to the LA Chargers, leaving behind his beloved Michigan Wolverines as national champions. As national champions. So I raise my drink once more for that. So I guess there's two camps to this whole discussion. One is the anger and the outrage, and the other is the gratitude and the thanks for what Jim Harbaugh was able to do during his time here at the University of Michigan, especially these last 3 seasons where we beat Ohio State, where we won
Right.
the Big Ten championship, and we ultimately won the national championship. What more could you ask for as a Wolverine fan? What more could you ask for?
Personally, I'm relieved. I'm relieved that Harbaugh's gone. The constant drama every year of him going to interview with NFL teams, always holding us hostage, whether he's going to come back or not. I think I remember distinctly. I think it was last year when he went to interview with, I think it was the Vikings. He went like 5 times to talk to the Vikings. And ultimately the Vikings didn't want him. And he came back and he said, look, I thought I wanted to go to NFL. I've dipped my toe. I thought I wanted to go back, but no, I will not go back. This is the last time I will ever try and get a taste of the NFL. I am a Michigan man for life. Those were his own words. I don't know who to hate more. College football coaches. College football coaches or politicians. They're all liars, man. Come on, man. He said that he wasn't going to pursue NFL anymore. And yet, here you go. Every single year, he's always pursuing the NFL, and good riddance.
What I have to say to that, though, is when he said that last year, he said, as long as Michigan would want me, or something to that effect. And what happened was freaking Ward, because I know this is about celebration, but we can't forget about Ward and all the things that he didn't do to support Harbaugh throughout the year, throughout the suspensions, the Big Ten suspension, the investigation, the scandals. Ward never fully supported him, and even through this contract negotiations, only till the 11th hour, just so that he could say that he did everything he could at the 11th hour, and we gave him the best deal possible. But he knew by then it was too late. And he knew to do that only after he was too far ahead with the Chargers. He put that in there. And, shame on you, Ward. Shame on you. I'm looking at you right into the camera, into your eyes. Shame on you for what you've done to this program and to Jim Harbaugh.
Couldn't agree more. And just, if I may be succinct, I have been echoing that very sentiment. JC, you would remember this well because I think you even responded to it. You disingenuous prick.
Wow. Wow.
Oh man. Well, can't I don't know.
Violent right now.
Well, not violent, but just emotional. I'll say emotional. Everybody's getting a little emotional. Good gravy. Producer Jay Bizzle, what are your thoughts on this whole?
There is obviously more to the story that we only, I think, have a glimpse of. So I think it unfair to just peg someone as being the culprit or the purveyor of Harbaugh either leaving or staying. I think we all knew that Harbaugh wanted to get to a Super Bowl and win it. I mean, that's the ultimate goal for any football coach, is that when he was growing up, I'm sure he probably said, I want to play at Michigan and, I want to do really well. But ultimately, he's probably like, I want to go played in the NFL. Any NFL quarterback, they want to win the Super Bowl. So if he's doing it as a coach, that's the penultimate goal. And no one can deny that. No one can say that you could be a football coach and just be satisfied after you've had a taste of the NFL coaching. He gets to the Super Bowl, plays against his brother, loses in that game. Like that's always something you wanted to achieve. So I have no hate for him in terms of following his dream. Yes, he said that, he wanted to be at Michigan as long as they would have him. But I think that statement came true. He didn't feel like Michigan, especially that upper staff, I would say regents and even the AD. There's things that he wanted to do and have done, and they were not following through. And in this game of college football, if you don't evolve, and he learned this too. That's why it took him 9 years to get to this point. But I think that I can't blame him for wanting to go to the NFL. And if you go out on top like that, winning a national championship, bravo. Like, why not?
Why
That's
not?
what we expect for anyone.
Yeah.
So I think that's okay. And I feel the same kind of like, what the heck that Nameless is feeling in terms of this administration. Like, I don't understand why this administration, this athletic department is not supporting Michigan football like it should. And if they want to go about NIL the different way and saying like, we're not going to pay for players, if you earn it and if you work hard and you get these kind of deals, so be it. That's great. But there's nothing to the fact that I've seen already. And how much resources does our university have, and the networking power does our university have to not be elite, the first foundational, inspirational, innovative type of athletic department that values the student athlete, that values the university, that values college football, college athletics, all athletics, right? Because this NIL is not just about football, even though football is the main generator of it. But why are we not on the forefront of this? This is what I don't understand. And that's why I feel like, Ward, Manuel, you have to step it up. Just like you're asking every other coach to step it up, and who you prune off. I mean, Beeline, Bakich, like Hutchinson or Hutchins, what was the football coach or softball coach? So all those things, I just feel like it's like, dude, we're Michigan athletics. We're the premier program. Why can't we get this done? So that part of it, I feel kind of disappointed at. But Harbaugh went. He set us up for great success. I think that's ultimately, he accomplished the goal that he set out to do. Sharon's in. Let's go. Let's rerun it. Reload, restock, do it again.
I do want to say I express my gratitude. Just want to put it out there for Harbaugh. 9 years, championship. He came so close. The Michigan State punt fiasco, the JT was short fiasco, came so close, then knocked on the door, 2 college CFPs, and then finally got us a national championship. And getting the staff ready, getting Sharon Moore ready to take on the head coach position. We put our full support behind Coach Sharon Moore. Let's go, Sharon. Process, pursuit, standard. Let's go.
This guy, holy smokes. Just I want to make sure, is it Sharon or is it Sharon?
I heard Joel Klatt say Sharon.
Sharon Moore?
I heard Joel Klatt say Sharon, so I'm going with Joel Klatt.
I should have watched the press conference, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna call him Coach Moore from now on.
Okay.
Hey, let's not fool ourselves here. Harbaugh didn't want to stay here, man.
Oh,
The person
Wowzers.
that is elated right now is Harbaugh himself because he has an excuse. His excuse is, I wanted these things. They didn't want me. I'm off to the NFL. He wanted to go to the NFL all along. Come on, man. You know how relieved he is that they didn't give him what he wanted? That's what Harbaugh is thinking right now. He's like, oh man, thank God they didn't give me what I wanted, because now I have my base in Michigan who love me no matter what, like some political figures we know. They'll die for me because I have an excuse of how I left. And now I can go to the NFL, what I wanted all along. And those NIL deals that they're not willing to do or make adjustments for, it's not a Harbaugh thing. It doesn't matter who the coach was. They wouldn't have changed the way they think or they run the program. Come on, man. And is it more or more? Is it more or more?
What you just said the same thing twice. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Crazy, man. You talking crazy. Anyway, my thing is this. Listen, did Jim Harbaugh want to go back to the NFL? Probably. After he won that national championship, I think there's two key factors that he thought of when he was leaving Michigan. One is, and I'm talking from the Michigan side, I think one is, has he accomplished the things that he wanted to accomplish at Michigan as it pertains to on the field performance? And I would have to say yes. He's won Big Ten championships. He's beaten Ohio State. Not only beaten Ohio State, he's started to beat them consistently. So he's proven that. And then the last thing was, could he win a national championship? And he was able to do that. So he did all of the most major goals that he had set for himself as far as Michigan football performance. He met those things. Then on the other side of it, being a more big picture, is he able to leave the Michigan football program in a better place than where he found it? And of course, that answer is definitely yes as well. Because after Brady Hoke, the joke, left Michigan and Harbaugh came in, we all know where we were. Okay, so from there to where we are now, even with Harbaugh leaving, even with Jesse Minter leaving, having Coach Moore in place, I feel a lot better now about that transition versus, let's say, the Lloyd Carr to Rich Rod, the Rich Rod to the Brady Hoke transition. Okay, so when I look at those other transitions versus this transition, Jim Harbaugh to Coach Moore, I feel pretty good. I still have some questions, but as far as where we're starting from, it's not like I don't feel that the program's been, totally gutted and cratered, and now we're starting back from ground zero. I still feel pretty good about where we are as a program. So
I mean,
I can't be mad at Jim Harbaugh for that.
I'm not sure I agree, actually. Through no fault of Harbaugh, because I mean, I support Sharon. I do. He is absolutely the right guy for the job. I support him. I'm rooting for him, but I have no faith in Michigan football. I don't have any faith in our absolute futility in the NIL game. I feel like we have vastly underappreciated the force of nature that the greatest Wolverine has brought to Michigan, that he has single-handedly willed this program to a championship. I mean, he did it despite the utter lack of support of Michigan football in this age where it's literally transforming, like in this past year with NIL, with transfer portal going. I mean, it's like right now is actually the most dynamic college football has ever been. And some say for the absolute worst. That's for your own, like, depending on your perspective, but we no longer have like one of the most incredible coaches that can just throw you over the top, do it by culture, do it by program development, do it with 3 stars turning into NFL pros. I mean, is Sharon going to do that all by himself with a freaking Ward manual and the regents not doing pay for play. And I don't know. It could all tumble. Just get the bag man on here and let's get a little bit more pessimism in the room because it could all start coming down. Where are you,
Yeah,
bag man?
especially because now Moore is on third base. Let's just put it out there. Come on. It's Moore's turn to be on third base now, right? Michigan had to do what they had to do in hiring Moore. If they didn't hire Moore, things would have really started to crumble. That's why Ward knew to meet with the players right after they announced Harbaugh was going to the Chargers, just to kind of keep things a little stable because it could have been a transfer portal like nightmare. Kids leaving, recruiting. But I wouldn't say I have no faith or I lack any faith in Moore or Moore, depending on how you pronounce it, Moore. But let's not forget, like he was a lead recruiter, right? He's an excellent recruiter. He also coached, the two-time Joel Moore winning offensive line, and he had a great offensive line this year. So, and he was a great offensive coordinator. So let's give him some props. I think there's a lot that he has on his resume. There's credibility there. I am concerned about the staff that he's going to hire because he's losing a key piece of Minter. And I wish Harbaugh wouldn't take him, but what are you going to do? But I'm concerned about that defensive side of the ball because we have some stars coming back. And they need a coach with the right scheme to put in the right position to be successful. And I'm just concerned, like, I don't know what name is out there. Sharon Moore doesn't have a brother in the NFL to kind of say, hey, I need a loan of a defensive coordinator. Who can you give me?
Yeah, you would think, man, the greatest Michigan Wolverine, all hail Harbaugh. Why is he taking Minter with him? Why doesn't he leave him for us? Why can't Moore, why can't he call up Harbaugh and be like, yo, let me borrow a defensive coach? Come on, man. This guy's taking Minter with him from the school that he loves to death.
That is come on, man. You're treating Jesse Minter like he's an android. He's not an android. He's a person. You don't think Jesse Minter wants to go with Harbaugh?
Now, who cares about Jesse Minter? What he wants?
It's not like Harbaugh is forcing Jesse Minter to go with him. Jesse Minter wants this opportunity. He wants to go to the NFL. So blaming Harbaugh and saying Harbaugh is stealing Jesse, no. Just like anyone, wants to keep moving up in their career or advancing or blah, blah, blah. Jesse Minter sees this as an opportunity to advance in his career. So you can't get mad at Harbaugh for Jesse Minter wanting to, pursue his goals too. Come on.
I mean, no one's saying Harbaugh is bullying Minter to come over to the Chargers. No one's saying Harbaugh's bullying.
Yeah, but what are you going to do if you're Harbaugh? You're going to say, no, Jesse, you can't come with me. Stay in Michigan?
Listen, I get Minter.
Guys, come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Come on.
It's part of what makes Harbaugh. People want to go with the best.
Yeah.
Sharon isn't the best. He doesn't have a tree. Come on, that's part of what makes Harbaugh the greatness of who he is. So, I mean, you got to just give it to the totality of who he is as a coach. That's what part of what enabled him to even get McDonald and Minter in the first place. So
let's be honest here. Just because Jim Harbaugh is at the Chargers does not mean he does not care about Michigan football anymore.
True.
And John Harbaugh himself is equally, almost probably as a fanatic as Jim is. And the Harbaugh family would not just cut all connections. He specifically said in his departure speech that I will be connected to Michigan football. Chargers are the Michigan best. So I don't think that haters like this guy over here. will be able to see what's going on. But there's no doubt in my mind that if we're looking for a defensive coordinator, that Jim Harbaugh will also have input into this. Because to be honest, yeah, Sharon
We
needs
just call Coach
mentorship
Moore.
still.
Come on, what are we doing here?
He needs mentorship still. It's still going to come from Jim Harbaugh. I mean, how could you can't deny that Jim Harbaugh will still be very connected to Michigan football, at least at a consulting type of aspect, because Sharon is going to go to him. He's going to be like, "What do you think about this?" And he'll give him his input.
Come
I
on,
don't
man. You're gonna
guarantee-
use Jim Harbaugh's quote. What he said. He's gonna be involved. That a year ago he said he's done with the NFL. Why don't you use that quote? And you know what? He's even taking Jay Harbaugh, man. He's even
Take 'em.
taking Jay. He's taking everybody.
Go. Hey, come on, Shadow Brothers. Yeah, I have to say I'm a little disappointed. Aren't you up on your reading and your research? You have not yet seen the names out there. What's his name? Or whatever secondaries guy on the
Yeah.
Ravens tree. We know what's in the pike, right? We know what's coming down the pike. It's the same scheme. They need to maintain that continuity. In all likelihood, that's already in the works. So we'll see it come down and hopefully in the next few days. But that's what's coming. But it's just I think what we fear is it may not be of the same caliber of McDonald and Minter, two
But
smash home runs.
to almost counter the fact that like people are concerned about the scheming, you still have to have the players. We had defensive coordinators who tried to scheme and we didn't have the players. We have the players right now. You can't deny Rod Moore, Makari Page. I mean, let alone like Keon Sabb up front of the defensive line. There's so much potential that's still there, that still knows the schemes, that can still run it. And so I actually am less concerned about the defensive coordinator. I'm actually more concerned about who's calling the offense, whether it is going to be Sharon or if he's going to hire someone else or Kirk Campbell steps up to do that. So that part of it is, I think the defense is fine. I have no concerns about it whatsoever.
I
But
don't know about fine. I'm concerned about depth. I think we have, number one guys for each position. They seem all solid or stars or all Americans. But beyond that, I think there are some unknowns. I still got to see what's because this year we had like 8 guys rotating on the defensive line. I don't know if we're gonna have 8 guys rotating on the defensive line anymore. But anyway, I was gonna say something to what the nameless said, but I just out of my head now.
Holy smokes. Anyway, I will agree with what producer JB is saying. For me, I'm not as concerned about the defense because again, the quality of the returning players. He said it all. You got the leaders on the defense coming back, except for Mikey Sanistro. You know, the I think the linebacking core is going to look good. Ernest Hausman's coming back. Who's the other guy? The
Maryland transfer.
yes, I can't remember his name though. Man, oh man, but yeah, him. Remember Nameless convinced Stewart to come back after the game. Oh
Yep.
man, that was a key move
We
there.
love
man.
you, Coastal.
Huh?
Let's go, Coastal.
Oh yeah,
Oh no,
he turned around and give you a look, didn't he?
he did. That's what I'm saying. Nameless
"I love you."
showed Stewart some love, and then Stewart's like, "Oh man, I feel the love from the Michigan fans," because he looked back right into your eyes and he said, "You can see in his eyes, I see you, I see you."
Yeah, because he was like, nobody else knows me. Man, it feels good to be loved.
He wants to keep that quiet. He wants to keep that quiet, Coastal.
Anyway,
He was like, yo,
no, he
But
wasn't.
let's be careful. Like, it does depend who we get but I have faith only because I think we will get the right person. So we will not have an exodus of our stars. If we don't get the right guy, you will lose a couple people. And if we lose a couple key pieces, that depth that JC's talking about, I mean, that's concerning. So we don't want to lose anyone on our all-star defense. I kind of really like the makeup of this team. If we can keep it intact, be it freaking stellar D, be the smash mouth that Moore wants us to be with maybe Orgy and Khalil and a reinvigorated Dono. Did you notice how Dono took the money? Did you see did you guys see how like that
Oh, yeah.
basketball state? Oh man, he is a self-appointed next
He's
captain of the Michigan Wolverines.
he is lobbying like it's election year. This is election year for him. He's
I was-
lobbying to be the #1 back. He was at the press conference. Oh my goodness, this is his calling. He was called.
Yeah.
Everything was preordained for
Yes.
this moment for him.
I love it. I think it's great that he is stepping up to the plate. You know what I mean? And you know, even before Coach Moore was announced as the coach, he said, "Hey, I'm still all in for Michigan," and I respect that, Dono. I respect that a whole heck of a lot. So you know what? Kudos to Dono for doing, for stepping up in this way, leadership, vocal leadership. So I like it. I like it a lot.
That was not self-promotion. That was God promotion there. God.
There you go. Telling you. And it doesn't hurt that he's got the NIL deal with Raising Cane's. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, Raising Cane's, I don't think has any locations in the state of Michigan yet.
No, not in Michigan.
What are you gonna do? Oh man. Anywho. Kind of leads me to my next question though. With Coach Moore getting promoted, what does that mean for the rest of the offensive side of the ball? Because we all, just like we talked about the defense, a lot of key pieces are coming back. The offense, almost zero key pieces are coming back. The only ones that I can really think of off the top of my head are Colston Loveland and Dono. As far as like starters or near starters that played a lot of minutes this past season. Everybody else along the offensive line, the QBs, of course, our wide receivers, basically the entire offense has to be turned over. You know what I mean?
I actually like our line. We've got the key transfer Preby from
Let me ask you
Northwestern.
this though: who's going to be the offensive line coach?
You know, our young dude that's the tight end coach. What's his name? The tight ends coach,
Grant
up and
Newsom.
comer. Oh, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be great.
Okay.
Campbell's gonna move up. I think we actually have a lot of guys moving on up. Ooh, you should put that song in the clip. Moving on up, whatever. But we got a lot of guys. Yeah, we got a lot of good guys that are ready for it. Actually, so we will need a special teams replacement, right? With Jay Harbaugh. I mean, in fairness to Jay Harbaugh, I feel like all season long and for seasons long, the guy's actually been a rock solid coach. He just bizarrely like fumbled near the end where like we were just kind of falling apart inexplicably. I don't even know why. We've been pretty rock solid on the special teams front until just the very end. So if you were a Johnny come lately watching Michigan football, you would think that we just suck on special teams, and it's not even the case. But we will need that replaced as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm still a little worried on the
on
offense.
offense, like I said, the offense is more of my concern. But there are clearly key pieces coming back. I think the offensive line is going to be a surprise for us because I think there were younger kids that were there and eligible
Yes.
and ready. And you could even tell when they started pumping up the offensive line in the latter games where they're doing 6, 7 offensive linemen, in there. So they're bringing in Hadid, they're bringing in
Yes.
Gentry, they're bringing in all these guys who are in the background ready to go. So I honestly think that it'll be a surprise. I don't think it'll be like Joe Moore award winning, but definitely not like starting from the beginning. So I think that's okay. Tyler Morris, that's the name that just keeps popping up in my head because in those critical moments that we needed him, he had those catches. He made that amazing touchdown run, showed the speed against Alabama DBs. So like that's the part where and with Orgy, who knows, or whoever it is, I mean, that we might turn into a Denard running quarterback type of team. All of a sudden, we're rushing for like 350 yards with our quarterback rushing for 100. So who literally knows? So that's a big question for me in terms of what we're going to turn into, because it's going to be an interesting offense, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious we have very limited people coming back with experience, but I think from my point of view, we are 100% certain that the quarterback position is going to get an upgrade because we had an average, maybe a slightly above average the whole season. And despite that, we did win a natty, but he's gone. He's gone. So at the quarterback position, we will get an upgrade, and I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
Listen, we were successful with Cade. I mean, we didn't win it all, but we were successful with Cade with the good running game. I mean, I'm not saying that, that's elite, but I think Orgy's running ability, I don't know if he can pass. We have to see what he can do with his arm. But what needs to happen is Sharon Moore needs to get a staff together and needs to hit the recruiting trail because I see OSU, they're stockpiling. Like we were late in the game because we were in the national championship. We were focused all in on that and the uncertainty with Harbaugh, which delayed us for another couple of weeks. So here we are at the end of January. Sharon Moore is coach, and they just got to get cracking on, transfer portal, recruiting. This is what I was going to say. The other concern that I have with Moore is he's a young dude, doesn't have experience. You got the Michigan, traditionalists on the Board of Regents. You got Ward. That, I don't know, might make it stuffy for Moore, who has all these grandiose ideas about maybe recruiting, NIL, but will there be tension and friction, and how much support will he get in the way that he wants to create established programs for NIL, for recruiting, and will they not allow him to do the things that he needs to do to make this program successful?
Prediction, he's going to get nothing from the Regents. He's going to get nothing from Michigan. Prediction, he's going to get 0 from Ward. Weak ass AD that you ever find anywhere. But what you will get is a recruiting energy and effort with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. And that will make up some of the difference. It will come nowhere close to what is necessary for what you need to have, which is pay for freaking play. Get with it. SEC, love it or hate it, this is college football. If you want to compete for the top 4 or just even have a chance to progress in the playoffs, there's just no other. Look at Oregon. Look at the Buckeyes. Look at Georgia. We have no shot. 0. I'm sorry.
But we just won a natty without it.
Only because of Harbs. Period.
Oh, come
Only
on, man.
because of Harbs. Seriously.
Or quorum too. Quorum.
I mean, that you censor players coming back, Zinter, Keegan, Quorum. I think all those guys coming back made a huge difference, clearly. But I honestly think with Moore, we're gonna get a different style of interaction between the admin, athletic department, and the coach. Because I think, yeah, I could see how he might get kind of inexperienced bullied over by some of them, but I could also see a lot of avenues opening up actually because it's not Harbaugh and it's not kind of for some of the things that he tried to do, satellite camps outside, he was always kind of pushing the edge of what's possible. And I think with Moore, he doesn't really need, I don't think he really needs to push that hard to be outside of the envelope. I think he just needs really just quote the support. So in other words, the funds, the abilities to be able to expand the recruiting. He's already a great recruiter, and I wouldn't say that Jim Harbaugh is necessarily the greatest recruiter. I think he's unique. He's interesting. I mean, they even Sharon even explained his first interview with Harbaugh, and then Harbaugh's like, "Hey, come stay over at my house and let's talk football." And then he got the job. So it was like I don't think Sharon needs to do that. And I think he connects with the players at a whole different level than what Harbaugh can do. So I think that's going to be our advantage, which means that we need to get him out there. We need to get him connected to the students out there. And I think that's the part where I honestly think with Harbaugh, there was also a bunch of resistance, not only through the admin, athletic department, but also national media wise, right? They're all out to get Harbaugh and stuff like that. I think Sharon, that's different. It's fresh, it's new, and I think that's going to be the appeal.
This guy, fresh and new. You make it sound like he's a new flavor of a Coca-Cola or something. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
say
already
the
checking
same old
social media
stuff.
right now. There's like a bunch of future recruits are already like, yeah, Sharon's like my guy. Like I'm connected to Sharon. Like it just keeps popping up more and more. So more and more, more and more.
Take it easy. This guy, he loves these more puns. Keep saying them more and more. Anywho, I don't know, man. I don't know. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is uncertainty. There's still some uncertainty as far as what he can do as far as a head coach goes. As far as like offensive coordinator, even handling in-game stuff when he took over for Harbaugh for 3 games, that's a big thing. But in-week preparation, being a head, how to put it, being a head coach full-time is a lot different than just being the head coach on game day. You know what I'm saying? Because being a head coach full-time is basically, yes, of course, there's X's and O's, but kind of to Nameless's point, and well, I guess to everybody's point, that the main job of the head coach in major college football is program building. It's not so much, hey, let's figure out the X's and O's. That's all the coordinator stuff. But as far as like building the culture, building the programs, building the systems, yada yada yada, all that stuff, that's all head coach stuff. And I don't know. Well, I should say we don't know what Sharon Moore is going to do with that stuff just yet because he's never had to do it before. So we'll see, And one of the big things, of course, is hey, how is he going to structure that staff? First, the defensive coordinator, and then the offensive side of the ball, who takes what responsibilities after he's been moved up. I'm
Hey,
hoping
speaking-
for stability.
Let's
What do you
just
think
hope
about-
let's just hope it goes better than the Beeline to Jawan Howard transition.
Oof.
All right, it's, Jawan Howard was given a great program, and look where it is now. But I think one thing that Sharon Moore has, even though he maybe dealt some resistance and pressure from the senior leadership people, I mean, he has an unwavering support of Michigan alumni and the Michigan players. Like Zach Zinter was like basically saying Moore should be the head coach, period, and you better make him the head coach. And Ward was listening, and that's why he had to move things quickly, get waivers, and put more in place so that there's stability and no angst amongst the Michigan alumni base.
Question along these lines, actually.
Ooh.
The one coach that I hadn't brought up, and I do wonder about a little, is Hart, because there's a lot of talk at times about him potentially being somewhat of an heir apparent. I mean, obviously, the pole position was Moore's from the get-go, with him being the 1A in the suspension period. But Hart, I do wonder. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll just say that he's eminently poachable. Okay. Bellamy, you can have him. We need an upgrade at the wide receiver spot, okay? And next year, when the Don is gone, basically his meal ticket, it's over, okay? The Bellamy, it was fun while it lasted. Great guy. He's all we ever hear about is that he makes great relationships, but he doesn't bring anybody in. Who comes? Is Carmelo English the next superstar? I hope so. We're not getting anybody. So wide receiver, despite our reputation for being run, ground and pound, we do need some receivers. It is a glaring, I'd dare say it's probably the biggest hole we have on our roster for next year, other than QB. No?
Yeah, and what to say about Darius Clemens just leaving right after the national championship? See you later, Bellamy. Right, Marion Walker gone. So I think we got to hit the transfer portal hard on that position.
Yeah, wow. Our skill positions is besides running back is it's a point of weakness at this point. But what are you gonna do?
But we have Colston though. Don't forget Colston Loveland, man. He's maybe the top tight end in the country.
Yeah,
so
but he's only one guy. I mean, AJ Barner left. I don't
Samaj.
Come on, Samaj is he's no. In a perfect world, Samaj would turn into Desmond Howard. You know what I mean? Like a small, quick, fast guy that can make electric plays. But Samaj is no Desmond Howard. Oh, I'm sorry. He's
You know,
not.
Samaj is just a freshman, man. He's only played 1 year. Give him a break. You never know.
This guy cuts JJ McCarthy zero slack, but all of a sudden Samaj
Come
Morgan
on,
is his adopted son.
JJ wasn't a
Come on,
freshman.
man.
He was a junior. Come on, man.
You weren't
JJ
yelling.
was under. He was 20 years old when he won the national championship. Come on, man. Cut him some slack. Cut him some slack.
Squarehead was
So
not yelling.
young. He's a baby. A baby.
Samaj fumbled the ball.
What?
You weren't yelling that when Samaj fumbled the ball.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, it's so. Anyway, my point being, Samaj Morgan, he's got a long way to go before he becomes the next Desmond Howard. You know what I mean? But like, if he came anywhere near Desmond Howard level, I would be over the moon. Over the moon. But you know, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening for him that way. Not to say that he's not a good player, but like if it's Giles Jackson, Desmond Howard, I think Samaj is going to be somewhere like around here, like around here.
That's precisely
Giles
the
Jackson,
point.
Desmond Howard, right around here.
My thing about this Sharon Moore hiring as a coach. I mean, let's all be honest here. It was inevitable. Nobody had any doubt that he was not going to become the head coach. Let's not fool ourselves and think like, oh, the players petitioned for him, the alumni petitioned for him, so this guy is just some random hire from out of the blue. It was 99.9% given that Sharon Moore was going to be the head coach. So, I mean, it is what it is. When Harbaugh left, Moore was going to step up and be the head coach.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's arguing that. I mean, you know, Harbaugh said so himself, you know, that he was grooming Coach Moore, you know, to become a head coach someday. So I didn't think that it was going to be this soon. I remember after the national championship game, and we went to lunch with Paul at that Vietnamese joint. Remember?
Yeah.
I made the bold prediction that JJ McCarthy and Coach Harbaugh would come back next season to go for a back-to-back natties.
And I told you that there's no way.
You did.
If anything, I knew Harbaugh was gone, but JJ, JJ's dumb enough that he probably thought he could play in the NFL. He'd leave anyway. Wow. And thank you for leaving, JJ. I wish you the best in your engagement and your marriage. I wish you only the best outside of football, but average at best quarterback.
This guy, the kid only lost one game in his entire career as a starter. Okay, one game. Come on.
No, he lost 2 games.
As a starter?
Oh, not as a starter.
Yeah, come on, as a starter.
One, come on.
Folks, this guy's jumping in with Squarehead all of a sudden. Revisionist history.
He played against
Georgia.
Georgia.
All his stuff at the University of Michigan.
Played against Georgia.
Golly.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm actually excited about next season. I'm excited about Michigan football. A lot of, you know, what we've known and kind of had for the past 3 to 4 years, and even within the whole Harbaugh saga has been, I think we talked about it last time. It's just like a constant crescendo with a little bit of like flutters that go down again, but it still went up to this point where we got to the national championship undefeated, 15-0. We went through the best. We beat the best. We are the best. And this brings out, you know, like you want back-to-back, but I would want to see growth happen, right? I want to see like the program continue the way that it is. We weren't going to have Harbaugh forever. We all knew that, but this is exciting to me. This is where I want to see the development process happens. And, you know, I think with Sharon, you know, having that physicalness to our team is like refreshing again to see how, like, I've like glimpses of like watching the Washington game, glimpses of watching the Alabama game. We pushed those guys around. Like they physically felt it. Michael Penix felt it at the end of the game. Like that's the impression that I loved to see, and I'm really wanting to see again this coming year, because this schedule is going to be brutal, and like it's going to be one where we're going to need that physicality in order to get through all of it, because it's not going to be something that, you know, we can just score like 70 points and try to get through. Our defense has to step up, and our offense has to push their way and make their way.
Hey, I just want to put it on record. We went through the entire schedule for next year. I spent 72 hours straight with Nameless, and we went through the schedule, and he predicted at least 4 losses. I want you guys to put that on record next year when we do predictions. He better predict three losses.
All right.
Buckeyes, Oregon, Texas. That's our ceiling. 9-3 is our ceiling.
So
Right
big.
there.
I'm telling you, Nameless always predicts we're gonna lose when we go down to Ohio State. Come on, I want you to be pleasantly surprised once again next year.
Hey,
I want you to
9-3
be
isn't the worst in the world. It's just,
Oh,
you know,
I tell you what, though, 9-3, and then what?
I know.
I'm concerned. Like, I don't share the same kind of enthusiasm for where this program is headed until we really pick up the recruiting and the transfer portal work. Like, being number 17, 18 in the recruiting rankings is not going to cut it. And, we could say, like, yeah, we had a bunch of 3-4 star players, but our players who won the national championship, they were part of the recruiting class that were top 5. So I'm sorry to say, like, I'm not as enthusiastic. We need to pick it up because, for me, I don't just think about things. I just think about the things that I think about and you all think about, which is like, I think about what's happening, not just next year, but 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road.
oh
And
my
I
God.
see
Get out of
things
here.
No, that's
things need
way
to-
No.
that's way
shift.
too much thinking. That's
This-
way too much thinking
No,
for me.
no more.
Was
no
brilliant.
more, no
Play that
more.
back again.
Yeah, play it.
Brilliant.
Thinking about thinking.
This guy. I'll make it much easier for the thinking as far as next season and the season after. I think one of the key components that we have now mentioned as far as the staff goes is the strength and conditioning coach. How do you pronounce his name?
Ben Herbert.
Or-
Herbert.
yeah,
Do we know
Ben.
our staff? Do we know our staff or what? We don't know.
Well, I know that. I know how it's spelled, but I don't know how to pronounce anybody's name.
Herbert.
Is it Herbert or
Yeah.
Herbert?
No, it's not a French.
trying to make it. So
So it's Ben,
Herbert.
right? Ben Herbert then? Ben Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah. I haven't seen the official announcement that he's staying, but I'm assuming that he's staying.
He was
So-
at the press conference.
Say again?
He was at the press conference.
But did they say that he's officially staying on staff? I'm
Not-
just assuming that he is.
one
He's going to
reporter-
the Chargers.
One
No.
reporter asked him, and he said, "This is Sharon's news conference, not mine." But like high percentage chance that he's staying.
That he's staying. Yeah. So for me, that's another how to say another pillar that was definitely necessary to stabilize the foundation. So the fact that Coach Herbert is staying as well gives me a lot of good feelings. So you guys have been saying that, yeah, we've had recruiting troubles in the past and we've had 3 stars, et cetera, et cetera. But everybody will say that one of the keys to coaching up this roster, to developing this roster, making them develop from 3 stars to more than 3 stars, has been the work of Ben Herbert. So I'm glad that he's staying, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else, or how to say, who the next person is going to be that he helps develop, from a 3-star to a key starter to a Michigan legend like Mikey Sanistrel did, like Michael Barrett did. Who else do I think is going to? Oh, Rod Moore. These dudes that came in unheralded. People might have said undersized, too slow, et cetera, but working with the strength and conditioning coaches down at the University of Michigan, they were able to up their game, compete with anybody in the country. 4-star, 5-star, doesn't matter. SEC, people that get paid down in Ohio State, doesn't matter. They competed and they beat them.
So again, this is the part where I think about the things that you're thinking about, which is if they coach them up in the way that we have right now, we'll win the Citrus Bowl. We'll win the Citrus Bowl.
Oh, come on, man.
All right. Because if we look at the national championship roster, the pillar, right, on our offense was JJ McCarthy, 5-star, Corum, who was a high 4-star. On defense, we had Will Johnson, who shut down one half side of the field, a 5-star. So we need those players. So
We still have 4
Coach,
or 5 still. Come on now.
we need more of those players, right? We need more of those 5-stars. So get on the recruiting trail, get those Lovelins, right? Get those beasts that are the trenches that can push around the guys from Alabama. We need those players, but I believe that Moore can get more of those players.
Well, we lost Chris Ewald already, and we're about to lose what we pretty much had kind of counted on in the bag in Gatlin Bayer, who's probably Oregon bound, like every other elite recruit, it seems.
Yeah, but he's not gonna come for another 2 years anyway. You know what I mean? He's gonna be Mormoning. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, he probably is thinking about the things that we're thinking about, which is he's looking 2 years down the road. He's like, oh man, this cupboard is pretty bare.
Ewald is decommitted, but he didn't say that we're out. His dad said he's still considering. I think they're waiting to figure out if Harbaugh is staying or not. But anyways, Moore can get more of those recruits. I have full confidence in that. I have full confidence that he can get those talented recruits.
I'm not totally disagreeing with that, actually. This is the area where I'm cautiously optimistic that despite the fact that we will not compete on the level of the SEC and Oregon and in terms of just buying, putting some money out there, there's an intriguing aspect to him. I don't know if that he's going to quite match the legend of Harbaugh in development, because who matches that? So far, nobody has done what Harbaugh has done. Okay, so if Moore can continue that to some degree, fine. But his edge on Harbaugh, I really think, JB, I agree with that. He's got the youthful energy and the connection that Harbaugh petered out. I mean, Harbaugh had his strengths. Harbaugh got us to the championship. Moore will be lucky to bring us to the championship. I'll take that. Box. Square. Let's get another fight. We're going right. Let's run it back again in 3 years if Moore can do it. But that's not going to happen. Okay.
Flight. Forget the flight. We're renting a car. I'm not flying anymore. I'm driving. Forget the flight.
The one edge I could see we hope, but it's like, it's so hard to pull off when you're not on even playing field. I mean, frick, even Tennessee can outbuy players over Michigan. I mean, it's just pathetic, our level of competition and trying to get some of these elite guys to come up north.
Let me ask this. Okay, so we might have a disadvantage as far as high school recruiting. High school. Do you think we still have the same disadvantage when it comes to transfer portal, though? I would argue that we do a much better job in identifying who we want to fill, key spots, and our transfer targets, more often than not, have been maybe not home runs, but at the very least triples, double. You know what I'm saying? Key contributors. So in my mind, I don't think we've missed on a transfer yet.
So I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly, actually, because I think transfer come here knowing that there's going to be development, and there's now not only a connection to John Harbaugh, there's connection to Jim Harbaugh and their networks. So it's going to be a very appealing place for transfer portals to come back, transfers to come in, get playing time, get noticed, and hopefully get drafted by an NFL team.
Yeah, I mean, the past 3 seasons, we've had some awesome transfer portal pickups. Olu, who else was there?
Ernest Hausman.
Yeah, Hausman. I mean,
Warner.
Wallace.
who?
Wallace was critical, man.
Yep, Wallace.
From UMass. Yeah.
Yep, Nugent. Um, what else?
Miles Hinton, he's going to be a star
Hinton?
next year. Don't laugh.
Darius Henderson was another
Yep.
key piece.
I mean, so like in my mind, all right, maybe we don't get as many 4 and 5 stars, because we're not paying as much. But in my mind, it's like we make up for it in a really big way by being more, how to say, pinpoint accurate with the transfer portal. Saying, hey, we need somebody in this position and we've seen somebody produce, and then we pick up that dude. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of prefer that.
Transfer portals aren't a hit as soon as they land. I mean, they still need to get developed. And a lot of transfers, they also look at NIL deals. They're not just looking. I mean, obviously there's a reason why they're transferring, but when they consider the transfer, they're still looking at NIL deals. That puts us behind the 8 ball just to begin with, even with transfers.
Yeah, you're right. You're totally right because Big Reg, our success in the transfer was before this hit an absolutely bonkers next level. It's a far different world even now this year compared to last year. Seriously, and next year, I mean, I shudder to think it's like people are grabbing the bag like never before. It's all about the money bag. Come on.
So I think that's true for those middle tier players who looking to transfer, grab the money back because they don't see as much hope in the NFL. But those like top tier players who are playing in like, the mid majors, who are like, you know what? Hey, I have a shot in the NFL. I think they're gonna want to come play for Michigan. Because like I said, development with Herbert and the connection they're gonna have to the alumni and to the Harbaugh connection.
Yeah, and
Dude,
I might be wrong, but they're still gonna get NIL money though.
Not as much as like Texas or Florida State or the U. But I think we offer other things that those programs don't have.
We take them to like Rome and stuff, trips. There's stuff. Come on.
Upper Peninsula. Yeah.
Mackinac Island. Mackinac.
Sleeping Bear Dunes. Come on. It's beautiful.
Hey, all in all, I think our concerns about not getting the talent, I mean, it's not unfounded, but we've worked in this behind the 8 ball scenario before. Like that's been literally our whole MO, because even when it wasn't legal and people were paying players to go to their school, we still had to deal with that. We still had to deal with, hey, we're in Michigan and up north, it's not warm, it's not sunny, blah 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 nonsense. And why recruits wouldn't come down there. Like to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we have the culture, we have the process that we can get our team to be able to perform at a high level. And I think, we have to do some work with NIL, but that doesn't define us. I wouldn't want NIL to define our team. I wouldn't want us to spend $13 million on getting Alabama transfers who we already beat in the Rose Bowl to come to our team. So like that to me is like where, we have the players that we're getting, we're identifying the players that we want. We're building it up as a process. We have key components that we happen to get, but we don't have to like redo our whole defense or our whole offense, switch our quarterback because like this is not the way that we want to go. I mean, some of those teams, they're flipping out their 5-star quarterback for another 5-star quarterback because they're thinking that this is going to help. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that we have the right people in place to develop our players and get us to where we need to go. We have this scheme. We have the values of, making this defense something that stops everyone. So those are the key essentials that I like. That's why I'm optimistic. That's why I'm enthusiastic for Sharon to be able to come through, because we're not starting afresh. We're just continuing on the keys to success in winning. Bring it down. Bring it down.
Pull it down. Pull it down. Pull it down.
Bring it down.
Is it bring it down or pull it down? Which
Pull
one?
it down. Pull it down.
Is it Sharon or Sharon? Which one is it?
More and more.
Sharon.
Oh gosh. Anyway, let me ask you this. This is just a silly question I had, but if Kyle McCord wanted to transfer to Michigan, would you guys have wanted him then?
No.
Given our current quarterback situation? Like, let's say he hadn't transferred or committed to Syracuse yet. Would you be okay with taking a Kyle McCord?
I'm okay with taking
Yeah.
who's willing to compete. If he wants a guaranteed starting position, no, I don't want him.
No, I think he's too soft, to be honest. I think he rattled too easily. I think he's a pocket passer, but I'd rather have someone a little bit more dynamic in the pocket. We're gonna need it next year. Who's he
I'm
gonna
actually good with Jaden Davis for the future. I'm actually good with that. He fits what we need for the next short term, 3 to 4. The Sharon smash mouth, physical nature, run first. I mean, that short intermediate pinpoint accuracy game is going to be on. We're going to get the tight ends. We didn't shout out our dude, our favorite blocker. He's still going to be with us, by the way. Not to go off on a tangent.
44?
Yep. Bredesen.
Bredesen.
Mad Max is back. That core is still rock
Except for
solid.
that penalty.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
but-
on.
Except for that penalty. I think it was like a
man.
late hit or a personal foul or
He was
something.
trying to
Except
set
for
the
that.
tone. He was setting the tone. Come on.
I'm
You know,
willing-
he
I'm
did that
willing-
against. He did that against Caleb Downs.
Yes.
Yeah, we transferred
Oh,
to OSU.
He knew.
He literally smashed that kid. I felt bad for him.
He just speared him.
On it, I'm willing to take that penalty to set the tone. I'm willing to take the penalty to set the tone.
Oh man, it's gonna be an interesting game. Oh, I can't wait for next season. Holy smokes!
Hey,
We-
but let me no, but going back to that McCord thing, yeah, it's easy for us to sit here and be like, oh man, we don't want that McCord guy.
I said I'd
He's
take him.
he's soft. He's a pocket passer after we beat him down. But come on, man, he would have been an upgrade from who we had. That would have been better than what we had.
Wow.
Come on, man. Like I don't know if it was Kyle McCord or if it was Marvin Harrison Jr. and the receiving corps that just gave him all the passing yards. Like the offense was dynamic not because of McCord, it was because of the receivers, Trevion Henderson. McCord I think he's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's better than Jaden Davis or
better or worse than Cade McNamara.
Way better. And he's a definite upgrade from Jaden Davis, like for next year, for the upcoming season. If you fast forward Jaden Davis a couple years, I'll take Jaden Davis. But for what we get for next year, no question, McCord's going to give you better product. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yes, but I'd rather develop Jaden Davis than have Jaden Davis start 2 years later. And I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed with McCord because I think he had Marvin Harrison Jr. to throw him.
Interesting. Well, my vote is for Alex Orji anyway. I'm pulling for him. I'm not gonna jinx him by putting any kind of predictions on him.
Thank you.
Will not jinx him by doing that. I would just say that I hope that he could reach his full potential because I think his full potential is pretty high.
The thing is, we haven't seen him throw. Like,
Yeah,
can he
wouldn't
squeeze
it-
a scapula? Can he
wouldn't-
squeeze a scapula?
Wouldn't
Right.
it have been great when we were beating teams like 45-3, bring in Orgy and give him some pass plays, some real game time plays where he could actually throw the ball and show his arm? Wouldn't that have been just a great preview into what we would have seen next year, huh?
He's known to be inaccurate, and I'm not sure that's going to be all fixed next year. But I'm going to jump on the Orgy bandwagon, and even though we may be like Army and just run, and Orgy just might prevail with 11 in the box because trust me, there's nothing to respect between Orgy's arm and no wide receivers on this team. Is 11 in the box,
Man,
3 yards in a cloud of dust. Go for it on 4th down every single time.
You're making
Yeah.
it sound like he's like Tim Tebow, like he can't even throw the ball at all. Holy smokes! Come on.
Is this Alex Orgy or Khalil Mullins? Like, who are you talking about?
I
Holy
know.
smokes.
Come on.
God, imagine that backfield though. You have Donovan Edwards, Khalil Mullins, and Alex Orgy going in 3 different directions, and you're like, who the heck do we take?
We are going to
Wishbone,
pummel
wishbone,
people.
wishbone all day long.
No, no, no. Anyway, gentlemen, we're going off on crazy tangents. We were supposed to just talk about Harbaugh leaving and Coach Moore taking over, but man, oh man, we've gone all sorts of different ways.
Oh,
We got a couple of comments from the last video.
We did.
One, someone says, "What tattoo is Big Reg getting?"
I haven't decided yet. It's either going to be the small but tasteful, or the full back.
Oh, stop it.
The full back. You know what I'm saying? It's going to say 144 across the top, and then you know how they have the graphic with the 2 helmets of the team, and then the score underneath. That's all 15 games on the bottom, and then right above the butt crack, it'll just say
Oh God.
business is finished right there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh God.
holy smokes. Oh my God.
That's a small
This-
but tasteful.
So it's either small but tasteful, just team 144, 15-0, or full back. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
We'll see.
Second comment was from Big Easy. The defense won this championship. Couldn't agree more. And then last one, LA Kim 40. All love to Ugly Sweater Guy. All love to JC from Sunnyside. All love to Big Reg. Squarehead rolling my eyes.
Well, it is what it is. What can I say?
No mention of nameless though.
He wasn't in the video. That's why. Anyway, is that gonna be your new handle from now on? Ugly Sweater Guy instead of producer JB. What's going on here?
Oh.
You're gonna have to wear that sweater to every Michigan game now. Holy smokes!
Every Michigan game.
Oh man, you're gonna be like the Buckeyes guy. You know what I'm saying? You got to paint your face too. That'd be nice. Anywho, gentlemen, I think that'll wrap it up for today.
One last word. We'd be remiss to say congratulations to Sharon Moore for being the first African American head coach, University of Michigan, right? So congratulations. I think no better man to be the first head coach. Congrats, Coach Moore.
Boom.
Dang, think about that. 145 years or 144 years previously, now for the 145th team in Michigan football history. Coach Moore is starting a new era, a new chapter in Michigan football history. We hope that's going to be as successful and as prosperous as the previous chapter has been. Oh man, I can't wait for it to start already. We just finished the season, and I'm already super pumped for next season. But that's what it means to be a fan. You know what I mean? What it means to be a fan. So with that, we raise our glass. Well, I don't have any liquor tonight, but I raise my drink. Coach Moore, congratulations. Coach Harbaugh, Coach Minner, good luck in the NFL. I hope your dreams come true as well. And man, oh man, can't wait for the fall so we can say, go blue.
Go blue.